About 7,000 miles southwest from Michigan, in Central Africa, is Democratic Republic of Congo. This 2,300,000 square kilometer country is slightly less than one-fourth the size of the United States and comes in at the 11th largest country in the world. DR Congo is also the second largest country in Africa. The country's flag represents hardship, determination, and prosperity very well. Blue represents peace and hope, red, the blood of the country's martyrs, and yellow, the country's wealth and prosperity. The star symbolizes unity and the brilliant future for the country. Established as a Belgian colony in 1908, the then Republic of the Congo gained its independence in 1960, but its early years were corrupted by political and social instability. For the next 32 years, Joseph Mobutu seized power and declared himself president through shameful elections and using brutal force to get what he wanted. Later in the 90s, the country was involved in two civil wars with neighboring countries, Rwanda and Uganda, under Laurent Kabila. Kabila changed the name of the country to Democratic Republic of Congo in 1996. These wars led to the event of the assassination of Laurent Kabila. His son, Joseph, soon took over. Shortly after, resulted the withdrawal of Rwandan forces occupying the DR Congo. Countries that are trapped in violence have a hard time escaping the devastating events. Even though a country may have many problems other than poverty, that is the primary cause of violence. DR Congo has been at the center of what may be termed as Africa's World War, despite the fact that this has been called possibly the worst emergency to unfold in Africa in recent decades. An estimated 3 million lives have been taken as a result of fighting or because of disease and malnutrition. With poor government control of conflict and crime, it becomes nearly impossible to escape violence but solely poverty. All 39 countries in Africa have suffered civil wars since 2000, as well as one or more in the previous 3 decades. Overall, government control is the heart of any country, which will help halt violence and especially indignity. No poor, violent country has achieved at least one Millennium Development Goal, which are targets set by the United Nations in 2000. The countries that suffer large-scale violence loses almost 1% of poverty reduction each year. The economy is slowly recovering after decades of decline. Continuation of corruption since independence in 1960, combined with countrywide instability and conflict that began in the 90s, has dramatically reduced national output and government revenue and increased external debt. With the installation of a government and President Kabila's peace action implemented reforms in 2003, economic conditions slowly began to improve as the transitional government reopened relations with international financial institutions such as the European Union and international donors. The GDP is around $27.5 billion, coming in at the 115th most wealthiest country. The gross domestic product, or GDP, is the value of all final goods and services produced within a nation in a given year. There are children as well as adults living in DR Congo with diseases such as malaria, HIV, AIDS, yellow fever, and many more. The Congolese are having an extremely hard time receiving medications and vaccinations to make them healthy. They need your help. Donating is a great way to start because each donation and every dollar donated are spread out to the maximum. Donating a large amount, such as a motorbike for delivering medications, or even a small amount such as $5, can and will save tons of lives. You may provide a blanket to one who is cold at night, or a soccer ball to give children hope and a reason to live. But here are 3 other ideas. A one-time donation of $5 will be added to your phone bill if you text ALIVE to 90999. Or, monthly giving is very popular in donating because it creates a steady and predictable source of income to African countries, allowing to fund more programs and help more children. Or, as an eBay seller, you can sell things you don't use and pledge 10 or even 100% of the profit, and the proceeds will go to African countries in need through the eBay Giving Works program. Considering what this country has been going through in the past 2 decades, can collect to the fact that this country is having a hard time recovering. The amount of people below the poverty line is about 71%. But what does this country have to offer as a way out? Agriculture, industries, a strong government plan of action, and export partners. If all of these key points are put into play all at once, this country has a lot of potential escaping the poverty line. The government is working very hard to work with outside and external countries to try and come up with a plan of action. But currently, DR Congo's government is very poor and it is dramatically affecting them in a negative way. The problem is that they are receiving aid, but simply not enough.